Welcome back to Factorio Hyperbase. So, between times, all I have done is I have added in refueling up here. We had a train run out of fuel and I had to kick this off, so I've also put some priorities in here to ensure that could happen, and it looks like this is finally done. We've exhausted the local coal that we had, so we're entirely reliant on coal coming in. Which is interesting. We still have some stone left, not very much I think at this point. What is it saying? 51,000. The iron ore patch here is down to 500,000, the copper patch is down to 1.3 million. But most importantly, if you look down here, you can see that in spite of all these lines of green, most of the blue circuits is now not actually processing. You can see just how shredded the supply of green is through here. It can't keep up, so we need to extend this whole thing. We're basically needing 60 for the blue circuits plus another 5 per second for the level 1 modules. So these are 2 per second each. A block is 8 per second. It's basically another 8 blocks of that to keep going. So that is not correct. Oops, that's not correct. That is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, I've screwed this up. Let's stop this before it gets too far down the track. Screwed up over here as well. Let's just manufacture some belt to use up this iron that I'm picking up. And we will try that again. I've completely lost count, of course. I guess that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they'll sort out the green circuits eventually, when or if it's all built out. We're going to have to go and grab a heap of belt very soon, and obviously a bunch of inserters and assembly machines. Let's get some more research happening. There's no reason not to. We might as well get the speed modules and prod module level 3s. It looks like we need kind of everything. We're going to have to do the same to red circuits as well. I'm not exactly sure how far that has to go yet. We'll have to do the calculation when we get to it. But let's sort out our green circuits first. Let's get like 1,000 belt. And quite a few of those. And all of those. Come back if we need to. Okay, watch where we're driving. and see if we can bring some of this extra resource online. Whoops, I want those. Is this thing actually any good and a good idea? Probably not. But I don't have a tidy 6-way thing, and the idea really is just to spread what's coming in over all of the lanes. We're hoping to keep them all pretty much full. It looks like I needed more of the splitters as well. Well, we're probably bound to need some more stuff very soon, so we can do an analysis very soon of what we're missing. It looks like, oh no, we have assembly machines. We still have inserters. For the moment we still have belt, we still have power poles, we don't have undergrounds. Let's do the other one. Efficiency modules, we're not really going to need them in a hurry, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, we're now out, oh no, we're not quite out of belt. So we need undergrounds, we need normal belt, we need splitters. And possibly inserters. We need some lamps as well. Yes, we need inserters as well. Okay. Belt, underground, those guys, and inserters. No, inserters, we've got inserters. No, we haven't. Blue inserters. Oops. We're going to have to do more of these sorts of things to keep the iron flow up to what we need, and the copper flow up to what we need as well. It looks like we might even have to introduce the third iron into here at this point, because clearly we are light on iron, and I'm going to have to take it from this one, I think, because the other one has too light a flow. Let's get some more tech happening. Personal robo ports are always useful. output priority. Yes, that's what we wanted. And we need to do the same thing for this row, which is just at the top here. I'll also take it from here. So I know how shredded the other one is towards the end. Ouch. This isn't that bad. Let's keep that science happening, something meaningless, we don't have to think about it for the moment. And you can go there, and we can give you an output priority right. Now, hopefully we do still have some splitters, so at about this point we want another one of those stacks force some resource down. Then what, 1, 2, another one here. About here. Here. The final one for now, about here. And on the other side we're going to need the same sort of thing. Right. Yes, I think these can be slightly less frequent. Possibly. Are you getting starved, or do you have enough? No, you have enough. Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing it the other way here. I guess I can see which way actually works better. Okay, that should be fine for that side. Now on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Four. One, two, three, four. Okay, that takes us to the end. And at this point, to about here. One, 2. And 1 more. We are very full on those guys, so that's not ideal. That's it. Right, so it looks like at this point, there's actually, well, at this point it looks like we need our extra supply of copper. I'll just do rocket shooting speed. Yes, our extra supply of copper to both sides. So I'm guessing up here is getting hammered. Yeah, it's getting very, very, very thin up here. Basically, there's not enough for the final one, so we did calculate out correctly that we need 5 rows of this. And the only one that can provide is here. Is it there? Is it there? And of course down here, oh yes, we need our we need that to sort of fit it in where we want it. And 1, 2. Connect up here. We now have 1 additional row of copper coming in. The last thing to do is probably to calculate out exactly where each row basically expires, where it's kind of pointless to have it continue on. But we can do red first, because we are going to need to upgrade red as well. Same thing up the top. I'll do it from the start. I also want this path to go the whole distance. Do I have any? I do actually have more stone brick. We should probably start getting into concrete and reinforced concrete. That's the first one just there. It's the last one. Right. That has restored a better flow at this end. It looks like we have enough iron right at the very end. Looks like we finally have enough copper at the very end. This is quite a solid stream coming out. We're probably being held back by the red at the moment. So for red circuits we have added 6 per second, which would be 3 lots of this plus another 5 per second. So we need 6 more segments of this, which is basically that, except we need to sort out one small thing with this. We don't want that flowing through any further than there. That going to there is okay, and that means we need to get rid of that segment, and now we should be happy. We should be happy if we do that there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, at what point do we need to refresh this line is really what I want to know. So these things are using 2 per second in each block. It should be 3 blocks, and then we need to refresh it, which would be 1, 2, 3. And at this point we should be bringing in extra, but it doesn't look like it actually needs it at the moment. Still, I would tend to think that we probably do. Let me use the belt to well, we probably want oh, we had one there, so we don't need that. It's actually built in. Okay, let's get rid of that. Nope, I've grabbed all the rest of my belt. Let's keep these things ticking over. That's useless to us, but we'll get it done anyway. We are missing a power pole just there. So obviously we're missing quite a lot of belt. It looks like we're missing other stuff as well. And they're stopping altogether. Where's our car? Back there. So yeah, you can see this is starting to thin out quite severely at this point. So that is where we need to start injecting a bit more. In theory, we should actually be able to lose a line at that point, or close to it. Okay, so we needed more of these. I don't remember how many. Need more of those. We need more of these. We need more of these. Let's start with that. Which is actually longer, the red or the green? There you go, it's the red. Because it's just so much less efficient than the green. It like 6 seconds instead of half a second. You need a whole lot more. Actual length. At the moment it's just saying it needs construction robots, so we'll see how far this gets. Green circuits is fine now, but red circuits is under stress. And that is stopping this working fully. It's only working up to that point on that side. This side seems fine for whatever reason. How are we doing? According to that it's just belt, but that might change when we get up here. Belt and lights. No, we don't even need lights, we just need belt. Okay. Should be overkill. We are out of lights, why don't I make a few? And keep the tech going. We're not actually making useful things because I'm not paying any attention to it. Alright. Oh, there you go, we did need some lights. Right, so I was saying I thought about, well, aside from anything else, I think that we need some lamps in here because I can't see a damn thing. And that's no good. Actually, putting them there might be a bit dumb, so let's put them up there. Okay, so 3 segments, 1, 2, 3, we need to inject at about this point. and probably, oh, and copper is supposed to be coming through here as well, more copper. So that's likely to be a thing as well. I'm going to do that, and up here something like this. Actually, I might even just break this one off. So, screw that, let's use that. Oh, come on. Let's use that and just no, I won't do it that way. I will do it like that. And then if we go like this, I think from memory that will preserve, yeah, I'll preserve the direction that it's coming in from. So between the feed down here and the feed here, we basically use a whole line, which would mean we don't really need that to be one of those. I could just do it like this. Which is slightly undershooting the capacity of the belt. And I definitely don't want all of that plastic. So that should then be good for the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and at this point we need to insert more. What was that? Alright, let's just do that. We also need power. So car's kind of going to be in the way there. So I'm expecting that the copper cable is not going to survive this onslaught particularly well. Where was it that we did that? Right there. 1, 2, 3. So right here we want to do another one. And I actually need some red inserters to make this work. I do have some. Good. You should have been down there, buddy. I'm actually making this hard for myself by squishing down into this row, aren't I? Never mind. No. Just come up there. I probably should have just left it up at this level. In fact, probably should have done the same with green. One, 2, 3. So we need another one up there, and we have a little bit of capacity left. It's not a lot, but it is something. Let's sort out the other side before we get to that. We're only getting one side built at the moment. So it's back here that we need to inject. Whatever that is, something completely useless from the looks of it. Okay, you come up here. Feed into there. You're basically terminating here. And you are going to jump over. You're terminating as well. Right. Get the robots to pick it up. That's probably easier. Likewise that bit. Whoops. I was looking at my destination, not where I was. So same sort of deal here. Of course, and you in there. Except this time it is just a split off. Oops, not there. Let's put you there. No, let's put you back where you were. Because that's fine. How's it actually looking at the end? This one's not looking healthy because the copper's not getting through. That should help. No, we're losing that, so I need a... we need this guy. 1, 2, 3, so... we're finally getting a little bit of copper through there, but it's very trace amounts. What about on the top floor? Yeah, very trace amounts. So we need that extra copper that we allowed for. Hopefully we can find a way to thread some copper through to there. Because this copper is now actually under quite a bit of stress. Is there enough copper down here? Looks like it. So it can handle a bit of stress up by red. Do I have some lights? I do. I meant to put them up this level, didn't I? I want to keep some science just ticking over constantly so that we can see the stress that's on, where exactly the stress is coming from. So at this point we have copper that feeds in here. But we're going to have to see if we can fit it into there. That's a stroke of luck. Okay. Oh. Let's just cheese that. There's that copper coming through. And the other one, oh, let's actually make the most of it while we have it. Wow, it's pretty light at this point, isn't it? How much do you use? You use 2 every second. That would tend to suggest that we can do 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should be able to get up to about there before you need to top up with copper. Maybe we'll do it here. That's not going to work. We're going to have to go past there. Yeah, that would probably work though. So that's 1, 2, 3. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines dependent on one flow. It should be able to handle that. And let's sort it out on the other side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the rest of it. This copper might have to get upgraded though. Okay, whatever that is. Yep. Use that to bridge that distance. You go back over there. One more. Looks like we can just make it. Although the amount of iron, yeah, the amount of iron, copper actually getting through there is not great. We may have to be upgrading that copper stack. But at least at the moment we now have accelerated production somewhat. We're almost 4,000 green a minute, we're 500 or 600 red a minute, and that's a lot closer to where we need to be. Let's take a very quick peek at how it looks down here, especially around the processing units. Processing units looks like it's fully supplied at this point, which is excellent. I'm not so sure about the flow of copper over here. Let's just check it at the very end. No, at the moment it looks fine. So we'll just have to assume that it is working. High tech is not getting past this point. We are on 60-second science, so if these are all running now, it should be able to punch through to the end. But we've done enough for this episode, so thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.